everybody, my name's Kiahonfire and welcome back to a brand new Conan Exiles video. Today we're going to be looking into creatures and the nerfs and buffs they're going to be receiving in Chapter 2. So there are some changes here to some of the creatures. Well, mostly all of them actually are getting nerfs. But are they as bad as we really think they are? Like, how much of a nerf are we talking? Are we talking big HP drops? A bit of damage going away? What is exactly happening to our creatures in the future on this first step to creature changes? For this video I'll be doing side-by-side comparisons, and you want to mainly look at the max strength damage bonus because that is what has changed for the most part when it comes to most of these creatures. Now, they have stated that this is not like the end of the creature changes. It is actually the start, so it's actually very unfinished what they're doing here, but they have started with nerfs and they can be pretty significant, or there's some buffs. Like to the Scorpion, apparently they've buffed that from the Chapter 2 version to the Chapter 1 version, which is the one we play as current, or well, will be changing very soon. It will be the old system. Either way, they have upped some of the damage when it comes to certain creatures and then heavily nerfed some other ones. So where I'm with the brown wooden plank foundation here, we're looking at the current version. As you can see, the Scorpion actually it is crap, really. It hits for 36, whereas in comparison its other part in the new Chapter 2 version will hit harder, because that baby was hitting for 58 damage. So this is one of the things that have improved. Gorillas are the same, but I would say still very crap. very disappointing. However, we'll look into some of the other creature nerfs as well, because some of them are quite significant. Let's have a look at Sabretooths, which are a little bit more significant. They've had a 3% nerf on their max strength bonus damage. So when we see them in an actual fight, so you can see the little white floating text, you can see a difference here. So in Chapter 2 you can see our Sabretooth is dealing about 42 damage to the wolf. The AI is driving me nuts, honestly, when we did these fights. They could barely hit each other, it was crazy. Anyway, you can see 54s, solid all around. The wolf that is wild is doing way more, and we're testing these from a level 1 standpoint, so we don't have any of the attributes and growth stuff affecting these results here. Now compare that to our old and friendly version we're very much used to. You can see our Sabretooth friend is going to do quite a bit more in general, so you can see the difference where a 3% nerf has happened and what difference that actually makes. So let's see him hit. He's hitting for 91, so that's quite a difference, isn't it? Looking at the greater variant here, it used to be 100%, but now it's 87% max strength damage bonus. So let's see how that affects our friends. I'm going to say for this, you pretty much don't really notice any changes in health. It's all damage. So let's have a look at these guys battle it out. Now, of course, it's greater, so it's going to do way better. And in Chapter 2, you can see it still does, honking damage, 120. That's really good still. That's a lot of damage. But let's compare it to our, old version. We look at the old version, and he's doing 165 damage. So it's not too much of a decrease, but still it's significant because he was doing, more towards 200 before, and now he's doing lower end, more near 100 kind of thing. Let's have a look at another comparison. We have the boss Croc, and actually the damage has not changed here, interestingly enough. So not everything has been touched upon when it comes to these things, but a few of them have, especially when it comes to felines and stuff like that. So boss Croc does the same on each, and I guess I kind of wanted to show you this because I wanted to show that the test is viable, it works. They're both doing 66 on both, and it works perfectly fine as a test, what I'm doing right here. Either way, not everything has been touched upon. Don't fret about everything you like being nerfed, but do expect changes in the future, because that's what they have promised, and that's what the route they seem to be going down, and that's what is going to happen. Either way, it mostly seems to be dogs and felines that have been affected by this, and invertebrate, so your yucky creatures. Now let's have a look at our friendly doggies. They have had a 10% nerf in their damage. So looking at New Brutus, he's doing 70s, 71, 72 damage. He's still doing really well. The AI keeps up very well with dog forms. They don't seem to miss a whole lot. So Brutus is doing amazing. Either way, let's have a look at how he used to be. Brutus before was doing a 115 damage hit, sometimes even more, or even less. 102 I just saw there, 103, 104. So Brutus was, you know, bringing out way bigger numbers beforehand, and that's had quite a big impact on him now. So you might want to reconsider taking the doggo into camps perhaps, because he might not deal as much damage. Perhaps you might want to train it a little bit beforehand before taking it into these camps. He still has the same HP, but his damage difference is going to make a hell of a difference. And the white wolf has had the same treatment. It seems to be the same across the board when it comes to dog types, so wolves and dogs, etc. He was hitting for 95 before, 96, so white wolf's doing pretty decent. Compare that to our old version. He was doing 115, so he's doing a bit more damage here, it would seem, in the arena. 102. Yeah, doing much better than the other one. So you can see again there's those significant changes you're going to notice here when it comes to the greater wolf differences. Something they mentioned on the patch notes was specifically the Yakkith. They said they hurt this the most, so I was kind of interested in looking into this. However, on his attribute bonuses it shows as 0% on both, so it's a bit harder to read here, but we can just see by looking at how they do damage in a fight. Our new Yakkith is doing 43 damage to the wolf. It's the same wolf for every test, by the way. Well, not the same one. It's the same class anyway. But in the old version, our Yakkith was doing a bit more. So let's see this fight out. Doing 59, which is not an awfully big difference at all, even though they said it was quite a hefty one. Perhaps they have some more changes to go through here that are not in the test live version. But it's still a nerf all the same, so you have a bit of difference there when it comes to our big boy. When it comes to the greater Yakkith, it's a bit different. We have a 10% nerf here, so it is 70, and it used to be 80 on the old system, 80%. Anyway, checking this out, we can see a bit of a difference in battle that is a bit easier to tell by looking at it through the fight. So you can see our big boy, the greater version, is not doing too much more than its lower part. It's doing 73 damage per hit. Which again, you can get way more damage using something else that's a similar type and can use the same moveset, but you can see he's consistently doing 73 either way. Compare this to the old version and it was a whopping 105 damage it was doing instead. You can see 30 damage is not there anymore, so it's a bigger nerf than it looks, really. Yeah, that's a heck of a difference. 100 to 70 damage can make all the difference in a battle, you know, especially as they're doing consistent hits. You're missing out on quite a bit of damage there. So it's way more easier to see through the greater Yakkith version than it was from the normal Yakkith, so I thought I would include it either way so you can get a proper idea here. I know people like tigers as well, so let's have a look at tigers, which has had a nerf also. 100% it used to be, now down to 87%. And let's see him fight. You can see he's doing 75 in the newer version of Chapter 2 when he hits things. So, you know, pretty decent, not too bad. But what was it before? Oh, White Tiger was hitting for a lot more. I'm not gonna lie, it was hitting for a lot more. We did have a 64 back there, but you can see when he gets a proper hit in, he does do mean damage. 127 damage this dude is doing to the wolf, and then his lower attack is the 64, but when it comes to his bigger numbers, that's a heck of a hit. I'm interested to see what they're going to be doing in the future to these pets, but for Chapter 2 you're going to have to be a bit more careful with your pets, because the ones that you like the most are getting the nerf, unfortunately, because it does seem to be most of the popular types people like to go for have had that nerf. Either way, I look forward to seeing what they're going to do with them. Hopefully they're going to do something interesting with pets in the future, because if they just keep nerfing them, then they're going to be absolutely worthless. Like, for me, it's way more worth to have a thrall, because you can coat them with a set of armor and a weapon, and they will last way longer than a pet ever will. A pet just kind of ties you from lower level to the higher, but because they take so long to craft, you might as, you know, you got your stuff done by then, and you might as well, you know, get a thrall, you know, all the same, and you have the lower tier of paint. pretty much for me, they do need to make pets a bit more useful again. And I hope in Chapter 3 or Chapter 4 or the New Age that pets will be more useful again, because they have been sitting in the wild in the pooper, you know. They are not much good. I will give you the Playful pups are very good, but they are also getting a nerf, so we gotta see where they go with this. Hopefully it's going in a good direction and we're just gonna take the hit in the first place. But for Chapter 2, definitely be more careful if you're using pets, or I would say just go for thralls in general. Pets are not going to be very worth it in general until they do the changes that they're saying they're going to do. Either way, we'll see how it pans out. Let me know what you think about these nerfs. Do you like these nerfs? Are you going to use scorpions more or something? You know, let me know what you think about them. Is it about time they've done this, or you're like, why are they doing this? Anyway, thank you for watching. I love you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye!